Welcome to the spoken tutorial on LibreOffice Calc, working with cells and sheets. In this tutorial, we will learn about inserting and deleting rows and columns, inserting and deleting sheets, renaming sheets. Here we are using GNU Linux as our operating system and LibreOffice Suite version 3.3.4. So let us start our tutorial by learning how to insert rows and columns in a spreadsheet. Let us open our personal finance tracker.ods file. Columns and rows can be inserted individually or in groups. In order to insert a single row or a single column in the spreadsheet, first select the cell, column or row where you want the new column or a new row to be inserted. For example, in our personal finance tracker.ods file, let's click somewhere on the first row. I will click on the cell which has cost written in it. Now click on the Insert option in the menu bar and then click on Rows. We see that a new row gets inserted just above the selected row. Similarly, for inserting a new column, just click on the Insert button in the menu bar and click on Columns. You see that a new column gets inserted before the selected cell column. Now let's undo the change we made. If you have selected a column by clicking the alphabet that identifies it, or a row by the number that identifies it, then right-click and choose the Insert Columns or Insert Row option in the drop-down menu that appears, in order to add a new column or a row. Alternately, select a cell by simply clicking on it with the cursor. Then right-click and choose the Insert option. You will see a dialog box like this. Choose Entire Row or Entire Column option to add a row or a column. For inserting multiple columns or rows at the same time, we should first highlight the required number of columns or rows by holding down the left mouse button on the initial cell and then dragging across the required number of identifiers. Here we have highlighted 4 cells. Follow one of the methods discussed to add new rows or columns. I wish to add new rows, so I shall right-click on the selection and choose Insert option. Next, I choose Entire Row option. Click on the OK button. Notice that the 4 new rows are added above the first of the selected rows. Next, we will learn about how to delete columns individually and in groups. For deleting a single column or a row, first select the column or row you wish to delete. For example, if we want to delete the column which has laundry written in it, first select a cell in that column by clicking on it. Now right-click on the cell and click on the Delete option. A dialog box appears with the heading Delete Cells. Now click on the Shift Cells Up option and then click on the OK button. You see that the cell gets deleted and the cells below it shifts up. Let's undo this change. Now let's learn how to delete multiple columns or rows at the same time. For example, if we want to delete the row which has miscellaneous written in it, first select the cell which contains its serial number, which is 6. Now hold down the left mouse button on this cell and drag it across the entire row. Alternately, click on the row number to be deleted. The entire row gets highlighted. Right-click on the cell and then click on the Delete option. A dialog box appears with the heading Delete Cells. Now click on the Shift Cells Up option and then click on the OK button. You see that the entire row gets deleted and the row below it shifts up. Similarly, we can delete columns by selecting columns instead of rows. Let us undo the change we made. After learning about how to insert and delete multiple rows and columns in a sheet, we will now learn about how to insert and delete sheets in Calc. There are several ways to insert a new sheet in Calc. We will learn about each one of them one by one. The first step for all of the methods is to select the sheet next to which the new sheet will be inserted. Now click on the Insert option in the menu bar, then click on Sheet. A dialog box opens up with the heading Insert Sheet. Now let us select After Current Sheet radio button to insert a new sheet after our current sheet. In the Name field, the name of our new sheet is displayed as Sheet 4. That is the system-generated name. You may rename it if you want to. Now click on the OK button. We see that a new sheet is inserted after our current sheet. Another method for inserting a new sheet is by right-clicking on the Current Sheet tab at the bottom left of the Calc window and clicking on the Insert Sheet option. You can choose the position, number of sheets and the name and then click on the OK button. This will insert the sheet accordingly. Another simple way of inserting a sheet after the current sheet is by clicking on the Add Sheet button, denoted by a plus sign next to the Sheet tab. On clicking it, a new sheet gets inserted automatically after the last sheet in the series. The last method of inserting a new sheet by accessing the Insert Sheet dialog box is simply by clicking on the empty space next to the Add Sheet plus sign in the Sheet tabs at the bottom. On clicking the empty space, we see that the Insert Sheet dialog box appears. You can enter the sheet details in the dialog box and then click on the OK button. After learning about how to insert sheets, we will now learn how to delete sheets in Calc. Sheets can be deleted individually or in groups. In order to delete single sheets, right-click on the tab of the sheet you want to delete and then click on the Delete Sheet option in the pop-up menu and then click on the Yes option. You see that the sheet gets deleted. Another way of deleting a particular sheet is by using the Edit option in the menu bar. For example, if we want to delete sheet 3 from the list, click on the Edit option in the menu bar and then click on the Sheet option. Now click on the Delete option in the pop-up menu and then click on the Yes option. You see that the sheet gets deleted. Now let's undo the change we made in the document. In order to delete multiple sheets, for example, if we want to delete sheet 2 and sheet 3, then click on the Sheet 2 tab first and then holding the Shift button on the keyboard, click on the Sheet 3 tab. Now right-click over one of the tabs and click on the Delete Sheet option from the pop-up menu and then click on the Yes option. You see that both the sheets get deleted. To learn further, let us first undo the changes we made. Another way of deleting a particular sheet is by using the Edit option in the menu bar. For example, if we want to delete sheet 6 and sheet 7 from the list, click on the Edit option in the menu bar and then click on the Sheet option. Now, click on the Select option in the pop-up menu. In the dialog box which appears, click on the Sheet 6 option and then holding the Shift button on the keyboard, click on the Sheet 7 option. Click on the OK button. This selects the sheets we want to delete. Now again click on the Edit option in the menu bar and then click on the Sheet option. Now click on the Delete option in the pop-up menu and then click on the Yes option. You see that the selected sheets get deleted. After learning about how to delete sheets in Calc, We will now learn how to rename sheets in a spreadsheet. If you see a spreadsheet, the different sheets are named by default as Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Sheet 3, and likewise. This works for a small spreadsheet with only a few sheets, but it becomes cumbersome when there are many sheets. Calc provides provisions to rename the sheets according to our liking. Now, for example, if we want to rename Sheet 4 as Dump, you can simply do this by double-clicking on the Sheet 4 tab below. You see that a dialog box opens up with the heading Rename Sheet. There is a text box with Sheet 4 written in it by default. Now delete the default name and write the new sheet name as Dump. Click on the OK button and you see that the Sheet 4 tab has been renamed to Dump. Let us delete Sheets 5 and Dump. This brings us to the end of the spoken tutorial on LibreOffice Calc. To summarize, we learnt about inserting and deleting rows and columns, inserting and deleting sheets, renaming sheets. Comprehensive assignment. Open spreadsheet practice.ods file. Select and delete the row with the heading Serial Number. Rename the sheet to Department Sheet. Watch the video available at the following link. It summarizes the spoken tutorial project. If you do not have good bandwidth, you can download and watch it. The Spoken Tutorial Project team conducts workshops using spoken tutorials, gives certificates for those who pass an online test. For more details, please write to contact@spoken-tutorial.org. Spoken Tutorial Project is a part of the Talk to a Teacher project. It is supported by the National Mission on Education through ICT MHRD, Government of India. More information on this mission is available at spoken-tutorial.org/nmeict-intro. This tutorial has been contributed by Desi Crew Solutions Private Limited. Thanks for joining.